view slideshow. Hey, so my person is Geoffrey Everest Hinton. He was born in December 6, 1947 in London, in Wimbledon specifically. He's known as one of the three godfathers of machine learning. Before that, he got that prestigious title. He received his bachelor's from King's College in Cambridge, in experimental psychology, after swapping from natural sciences, history of art, and philosophy. And then he got his PhD from the University of Edinburgh in artificial intelligence in 78. And for his career, he worked at a couple universities. He went to the University of Sussex, but then he moved to the States, but for better funding opportunities. So he went to University of California, San Diego, worked at Carnegie Mellon, and now he's currently professor in CS at the University of Toronto. And from 2013 to 2023, he balanced his time between Google, specifically working for Google Brain, which is their AI project / division, and his time as professor at the University of Toronto. And so the reason why he's considered the godfather of machine learning is mainly for him establishing and proving this algorithm of backpropagation. In 1986, with David Rumelhart and Ronald Williams, it's been cited as a paper almost 15,000 times. And it's basically a way for neural networks to predict output of subsequent layers based on an input layer. So instead of a traditional learning algorithm with positive reinforcement, it takes several forward passes through all of the neural network in order to start making changes. How backpropagation works is the output of the second layer is compared to the design, and that error derivative is fed back into the first layer and is changed from that point on. This co-aligns with the gradient descent algorithm, which means that they find the direction in which error decreases the fastest in terms of the input layer. And this backpropagation is much more efficient than forward passes and subsequent forward passes. And it really has become the backbone of deep learning and thus machine learning and therefore AI moving forward. He also had a lot of time developing the time delay neural network, which is basically a text analysis / recognition program. And it used backpropagation as well, using previous inputs and outputs and taking that into account for the current input and output for subsequent nodes. And it basically classifies patterns with shift invariance, which means that you don't need to divide up the text prior to the classification of what the word is. And so this is used for speech recognition, like something like Siri, where they just know what you're saying without you having to divide up what words you're saying. And also as well, lip reading and handwriting recognition, that same concept applies visually. And it also helps with people who have, obviously imperfect dialects or different dialects. It helps to recognize speech despite of that. And he also researched a lot in product of experts, which is basically a machine learning technique for determining probability prediction or distributions. And this was proposed in 1999. And basically the rundown for this is you split the problem into several small, simpler probability distributions, which are called experts. And then you combine them based on the density of those probability distributions with all the factors. And that culminates into a more holistic probability distribution for all of the factors that are involved in your total equation. And so those are three of the big things that Geoffrey Hinton really is known for and why he's called the godfather of machine learning. And so these are some of his awards. I'm not going to read them all off because there's really no point. You can see them. But I mean, the biggest one being the Turing Award, which he won with Yann LeCun and Yoshua Bengio in 2018. And he's also won the Princess of Asturias Award in Spain, which is kind of cool because it's from an actual princess. Really, since doing this work, his most notable sort of time in the CS space and limelight is his Fears of AI. And obviously his backpropagation program or algorithm really made AI what it is today. It allowed learning to be way faster and way more efficient. It makes it way less costly, way less space is needed, way less computational force is needed in order to train the program, and it's able to be trained faster. So really, AI does not exist in our form without Geoffrey Hinton and his work with the backpropagation algorithm. And he left Google in 2023 and left his work of AI behind to kind of speak candidly of his views. And he is a quote of him. Part of him regrets his life's work. He initially thought that general purpose AI, AGI, was 30 to 50 years away, and now he sees it as fewer than 20. And he kind of compares it to has the potential of a societal transformation like the Industrial Revolution did and like how electricity did. And he's now more worried about more than just routine labor being outsourced to AI. Initially in 2018, he thought that it would just be routine jobs and remedial work that would be taken up. But now he's worried about it being more. And you kind of can see that with the workers' strike or with the writers' strikes in Hollywood and how studios were having AIs write scripts and then paying writers less just to merely edit the AI written script. And something he also worries about more than just replacement is AI could become more independent, could create sub goals, which theoretically progress the program goals that the computer scientists would put into AI. Something and along the lines he calls it power seeking, also like preventing being shut off for whatever reason because it theoretically enhances a goal that the programmer envisioned for the AI. He also worries about the capacity of learning that AIs have. Basically, he describes a neural network of neural networks, and he describes it with the chatbots all online learn collectively from one another. So just if you use one chatbot and it learns something from what you type, all the other chatbots now know that. And he talks about this like kind of collective consciousness and collective information gathering is something that dwarfs human capacity, or at least in theory can. And he also worries about use of AI by bad actors. He called for a ban of lethal autonomous weapons in 2017, and that's something he worries about as well. And that's it. He's a great guy. He did a lot for AI, and yeah, that's it.